Hello everyone, welcome to my channel Wish Infinite. In this video of Playwright with TypeScript series, I would be talking about drag and drop action in Playwright. So let's start. So first question is that what is drag and drop action? So here we would be dragging the source element towards the target element and then we would be dropping it. So let me show it to you that how we can perform drag and drop action manually. So for this particular video, I am going to use this demo QA website for the practice purpose. Here we are having these two boxes. First is this drag me and the second one is this drop here. So this is the source element, right, which is drag me box, and this is the target element where we need to drop this drag me box, right? So here to perform the drag and drop action, what we need to do, we need to mouse over onto the source element, which is this drag me. Then we need to left click onto the mouse button, right? And then you need to hold the key. You need not to release the key, right? And then you need to mouse over onto the target element, which is this drop here box, right? So here I have mouse over on to this target element, and then I need to release the left key, right? Mouse left key I need to release. So here I have released it. So see, now it is dropped onto the target element. So this is called drag and drop action, right? Which means we are going to drag the source element to the target element and then we are going to drop it here. So the same action we are going to perform with the help of Playwright. So here there are two approaches through which we can perform this drag and drop action. First one is the manual approach, where you would be dragging manually if you want precise control over the drag operation. It uses lower level methods like locator.hover, mouse down and mouse up. So let me show it to you how we can do this drag and drop action with the help of this manual approach. So let me go to the VS Code. Here I have already created this TypeScript file, which is practice drag and drop.spec.ts. Here I have imported the test from this Playwright test module and created this test block with the title practice drag and drop. And here the second parameter is the anonymous function, which is having the page fixture. And into this line, I have used this page.goto method to go to this particular link, right, which is demoqa.com. So now first thing which we need to do is to get the source element and target element locators. So let's use this pick locator to detect the locator. Here I've already opened this Playwright browser with this link. So here I will mouse over onto the source element, which is drag me box. And here I am able to see this locator, right, which is using get by text method. Here I will click, okay, and then go to the VS Code. And the same locator I am able to see here. Hit enter to copy it. And here we can use this page dot and then we need to put that locator which got generated. So press Ctrl V to copy it. And then again we need to put the dot. And first thing which we need to do is to use the hover method. So here what we are going to do, we are going to hover our mouse onto this source element, right, by using the hover method. So after the dot, you need to put the hover method, okay, and then the parenthesis. And now once you have hovered your mouse onto the source element, what you need to do, you need to press the left click of the mouse and you need not to release it. You just need to keep it pressed. So for that, what we are going to do, we need to use this page fixture, then dot, then we are going to use this mouse property, which is of type mouse. Okay, this is the interface, right? And then here we are having the method which is down. Okay, so what it is going to do, it is going to hold your left click of the mouse by default. Okay, so see here we can also pass the parameter to perform the right click or the middle click, but by default it is going to take the left click. And now we need to get the target element, right? So for that, again I am going to use this pick locator. Go to the application, and here once I mouse over onto this target element, which is drop here box, so I am able to see the locator. Click here and then go to the VS Code. You can hit the enter to copy it. And then here we need to use this page dot, the locator which we have just copied. And again, what we need to do, we need to mouse over onto it, right? So again, I would be using this hover method. About this hover method, I've already talked into my previous video. If you have not watched that video, I would recommend you to watch the video. I will provide the link of the video into the description, or you can click onto this I button at top right corner to access that particular video. So here, once we hover our mouse onto the target element, what we need to do, we need to release this left click of the mouse. So for that, what we will do, we'll use this page fixture page dot mouse property, right, which is of type mouse interface, and then you need to put the dot, and then we are going to use this up method. So now what will happen here into the application, it will hover your mouse onto the source element, and then it will press the left click of the mouse, and then again it will hover the mouse onto the target element, and then it is going to release that left click of the mouse, right? And now our box is dropped here. And here one more thing which we need to do is to put the await keyword in front of these 4 lines, which is line number 5, 6, 7 and 8. Why? Because the methods which we are using here, like hover method, down method, up method, are going to return the promise. And how you can check that? You can mouse over simply onto these methods, and here you would be able to see that these methods are going to return the promise. Same is the case for down and the up method also. So here we can put the await keyword here. And here let's put the assertion that once we drop this particular source element to the target element, this dropped text is appearing here, right? So here let me put the assertion. So to put the assertion, what we need to do, we need to use this expect method, and here we need to pass the locator. So this is the locator, which is target locator, right? And here this expect method is showing the error. Why? Because we need to import it from this playwright test module. So you can import it here. So now the error is gone, right? And then here what we need to do, after putting this expect method with the locator, we need to put the dot, and here then we need to use this to have text, right? And here what is the text? So this is the text which we are able to see. It is dropped. Okay, let me inspect the element. So we will copy the exact text. This is the element, and inside this particular element, this is the text which we can copy, and here we can put that particular text. And in front of this expect, we need to put the await keyword. Why? Because this to have text method is going to return the promise. So here let me close all the already opened playwright browsers. Okay, and then we need to click onto this run button to start the execution. And what it will do, it will open this particular link, and then it is going to drag the source element to the target element, and then it will drop there. Okay, so it has opened this particular link. Okay, and then it will drag this particular source element to the target element. Okay, and our test should get passed here, right? So this is the manual way. And here what it did, okay, this box was here, so it mouse hovered onto the source element, okay, at the middle position, okay, and then it pressed the left mouse key, and then it mouse hovered to the target element at the middle position, and then it released the left mouse key. So that's why we are able to see this source element in the middle of the target element. So this is the manual way. Let me put the comment here, right? So approach 1, manual way to drag and drop. And now let's come on to the second approach, where you can perform drag and drop operation with locator.dragTo method. And this method will hover the element that will be dragged. It press the left mouse button, then it will move the mouse to the element, and then it will release the left mouse button. So same thing which we have done manually into the first approach is going to happen into the second approach with the help of this dragTo method. So let's comment out this particular part, and now let's use this approach 2. Okay, which is dragTo method. Okay, so here what we need to do, we need to give the source locator. Okay, this is the source locator which we have already created. So I am copying it. Okay, so here I have put the source locator, then I need to put the dot, and then I'm going to use this dragTo method. Okay, and then inside the parenthesis of this dragTo method, I need to put the target element. So here we have already created this target element also. So same locator I am going to use it here. Okay, and then we need to use the await keyword here, because this dragTo method is going to return the promise. Okay, here as you can see. So this is the single line. Through this, we would be able to do the drag and drop operation, right? Which we did manually into the first approach. Okay, and it will perform the same operation. It will drag the source element to the target element. So let me close all the browsers, and then again I will click on this run button. So here it will again open this thing, and then it will drag and drop the source element to the target element, and same thing will happen, right? It will hold the source element into the middle, okay, and then it will drop it to the target element into the middle. So here now the browser is open, and then it dragged the source element from the middle to the middle of the target element. So this is the approach 2. And here, as we are able to hold the source element from the middle, and then we are able to drop it to the middle of the element. Okay, this is the one way. But in your case, let's say if you want to drag and drop to the specific location, so that also you can do. And how you can do that? For that, we can pass the second parameter, which is optional parameter. Okay, so here how we can pass that option? You need to put the comma after this first parameter. So this is the first parameter, which is the target element, and then you need to put the comma. Okay, and here we need to pass the object. So here we will put the curly braces. Okay, I've hit the enter so that you would be able to see properly what exactly I'm writing. Okay, and here what you need to do, first you need to use this source position as the key, because we are passing the object, right? Here we have put the curly braces. Okay, and here we will use this source position as the key, and its value would be the object again. So here I will put this curly braces again, and inside this object what we need to give, we need to pass the x and y value. So here I will put x as the key, then colon, and then we need to put its value. So for now I am putting it as the 0, and same I am going to do with the y. So here y is the key, then colon, and then I am passing the value as 0. So this is the source position from where we are going to hold the source element. So let me show it to you into the browser itself. Let me refresh the page again so that it will get separated. Okay, so here let me inspect this drag me. Okay, you can right click and then you can click onto the inspect button. Here I can inspect this element again, and here inside this style section, if you will go to the bottom, you would be able to see this box, right? Where if you will mouse over into the middle, you would be able to see that exact element. These are the padding of that particular element. Okay, and then we have this border which is very thin of 0.8 pixel. Okay, so this is the specific box, right, which we are going to drag. If you are not much aware about this HTML thing, so let me make it simple for you. So you can consider it as the box, right? So this is the blank box. Okay, inside it there are some paddings. Okay, you can consider it as the foam which is there on all side of that particular box inside it. Okay, and then we have this blank space. Here we can keep any item inside the box, right? For now it is blank. So this is the specific box, and what we are going to do with the source position which we have mentioned here, where I have given this x as the 0 and y as the 0. So what it will do, it will take the source position like this to this particular corner. Okay, top left corner. Okay, which is 0 0, and here its value will increase for the x and y. How? Because these are the pixels according to which you can calculate the x and y value. Let's say if you keep the x as 5, so it will go to approx this particular position to the x axis, okay, with the 5 pixels. Okay, and here you can give any value between this particular point. So here its x value is 88.4 plus these are the paddings, right? You can consider it 5 plus 5. So 5 plus 5 plus 88.4, okay, and then plus 0.8 pixel. So it would be the width of that particular box. And same is the case for y-axis height. So height would be 28.4 plus 5 plus 5 plus this 0.8 plus 0.8, right? So that is the total height of that particular box. Okay, and accordingly you can give the x position and y position, right? So let's say the complete height is 30 pixel, just an example I am giving. So you can change the value of that y-axis from 0 to 30 pixel. and same is the case for x-axis value. So for now I have kept it as the 0 for both x and y, so it will hold this particular box from this top left corner. Okay, and here one more key value pair which we need to pass, which is target position. So here let me put the comma here, okay, after the first key value pair, and then we need to put this target position colon, and again we would be passing the object as the value of this target position, where we would be providing the value of x as the 0 and y as the 0. So here what will happen, it will drag this particular box from here. Let me maximize this browser. Okay, it will drag this particular box from this particular location, which is x and y as the 0 at the top left corner, and then it will mouse over at this particular location onto the target element. And why it will mouse over at the top corner? Because we have given the x and y axis for the target position as 0 0, right? So here it will drop it. Okay, so let me execute the script. Okay, I've already closed the browser. Let me put this assertion also here so that we would be able to validate it. And now let's execute the script. So see, the browser got opened, and then it will drag and drop this box to the top left corner of the target element. See, it has dropped it here, and our test got passed. And now let's try one more thing. Let's say here if I want to drop this particular box like this, right? So how I can do that? Okay, so here let me inspect it. Okay, because I'll have to put the exact x and y position so that it will get dropped to this location, right, to the corner of this box. So for that you can go to this style section and go to the bottom, and then you need to inspect this target element, and here we need to drop it to this particular point. So here what I will do, here I will give the x value for this particular bottom right corner. And what would be that value? So this is the 0 0, right? And what would be this particular value? So here it would be 0.8 plus 5 plus 138.4 plus 5 plus 0.8. So it would be around 150. So let me give that particular value. I can give the value as 149.9. So it should not exceed that particular value, otherwise it will not be able to find the exact coordinate of the element. It should be either the exact value or it would be a little less, then also it will work fine. Okay, so let me put it as 149.9 for the x value, and for the y value similarly I can calculate it. So it would be 0.8 plus 5 plus 138.4, it is the square, right? And again the 5 plus 0.8. So for the y value also I can give this 149.9. okay, and here I have put the x and y value for the target position because I want to drop my box of the source element to this particular corner. Okay, so what will happen, it will hold the source element from 0 0, okay, and then it will drop it to the target element at 149.9 of the x and 149.9 of the y, right? So it would be approx this particular corner, right, where it would be dropping this particular box. Let me comment out this particular part. It may happen that it will not consider it as the dropped. It may take it as outside of the box. So that's why I'm putting it as the comment. Okay, let's execute the script. Let me close all the browsers and then let's execute the script. You can click onto this run button again. So here it has opened the site and it has dropped it to the corner of the target element, right? See here, it has not considered it as the dropped, because I think if we will drop in the middle, then only it will consider it as the dropped, right? But I wanted to just give an example that you can change the position, that from where exact position you want to hold the source element and at what location you want to drop it into the target element. So accordingly, you can change the source position and the target position for both x and y value. And here we have just passed the two options inside the object, which is the second parameter. Okay, and this is the optional. And there are some more different options which we can pass inside this particular object. So for that, you can follow this particular Playwright document where you can find the different options, right? This is the fourth option which we have used with the hover method also, where we can bypass these actionability checks. Okay, so here if you will click onto this link, you will be able to see that for the drag2 method, what are all the checks it is going to perform. So these are all the three checks which it will perform: visible, stable, and it should be able to receive the events. Okay, it should not be obscured by any other element, right? Then only it will receive the event. And there are other options also, like no wait after source position, target position we have already used, timeout trial. So all these options you can use. Okay, you can try these options if these options are usable for you. Okay, and if you have any queries related to it, you can let me know into the comment section. So yeah, that's it for this particular video. Let me give you the quick recap. So here in this video, we learned that we can perform this drag and drop operation through the two approaches. First one is the manual approach, where we would be performing this drag and drop operation by giving the different methods like hover, up and down method. So here what you need to do, you need to first hover onto the source element, then you need to press the key of the mouse, which is the left key down. Okay, and then you would be hovering onto the target element, and then you will release the left mouse button. Okay, so by this you would be able to drag and drop using the manual way. And the same thing we can do with the help of drag2 method, where we would be providing the source locator dot, we need to use this drag2 method, and then we need to provide the target locator. Okay, so it will hold the source element from the middle, and then it will drop it to the target element in the middle like this. And if you want to change the position, that from where you want to hold the source element and where you want to drop to the target element, so you can decide these positions by using these options, which you can pass inside the object of the second parameter, right? Where you can provide the source position and target position with this X and Y values. That's it from my end. You can click onto this first card to go to the next video. You can click onto the second card to access the whole Playwright tutorial playlist, and stay tuned for my upcoming videos. If you have any comments, questions or doubts, you can let me know into the comment section below. Please like, share and subscribe to my channel. Thank you very much. Have a great day.